What's up, everyone? Happy Monday. It's the Monday after Thanksgiving weekend, so you can imagine my pants are tighter. I'm tired, and I'm very excited to go to work. Anyway, I wanted to make a video mainly for the beginners to talk about the dividends in general, and just a few basic things about dividends, mainly about the dates and everything like that. Just a quick crash course about what the hell a dividend is and why do you care and blah blah blah. So anyway, obviously a dividend is a cash payment that these companies that you're investing in will pay to you as a shareholder. So when they make their income, they can do a couple things, and a few things. They can reinvest that money into the company. They can pay off debt, or they could pay their shareholders. Obviously, if the company does all three, it's great. But as a dividend investor, you just want to make sure, they're paying their shareholders. You also want to make sure that they can afford to pay their shareholders and they're not taking out more debt to pay their shareholders. So, these companies typically pay dividends on a quarterly basis. Some pay monthly, some pay semi-annual. Although the only semi-annual one I've seen is Disney. But for the most part, most are quarterly, and a lot of the REITs, the real estate investment trusts, pay monthly. So as far as the dates go and why you care, mainly for dividend purposes, there's 4 dates that you care about. There's the declaration date. That's basically the date the company announces their dividend, the amount, and all of the other dates. So the declaration date can be a lot earlier for some, quarterly payments, should they announce for the entire year or, a couple months out. The guy in front of me is definitely drunk or sleeping. He's swerving all over the road. But anyway, so that's the declaration date. The next date that you care about is the ex-dividend date. This is the most important date for everyone. And finally passing this guy. So what that date means is it basically determines whether or not you qualify to get that dividend. So if the ex-dividend date is, say, the 15th of the month, you have to own that stock at least one day prior to that ex-dividend date. So, again, that's why they call it the ex-dividend. If you own that stock, if you buy it on the ex-dividend date, you will not get the dividend. If you buy that stock one business day prior to the ex-dividend date, then you will get that dividend. Also keep in mind that if you sell the stock, if you buy the stock one day before the ex-dividend date, and you sell the stock on the ex-dividend date, you still do get that dividend. Hopefully I didn't confuse you, but you basically have to own it one business day prior to the ex-dividend date. When I say business day, obviously I mean the market business day. They have to be open for it to happen. So anyway, what else? So most people, it would not be smart for most people to buy a stock prior to the ex-dividend date and then sell it on the ex-dividend date, because on the ex-dividend date, notice that the share price will actually go down for the payout of the actual dividend. Sometimes you'll notice it, sometimes you won't, because, keep in mind, the stock price can go up and down all the time. So usually the dividend per quarter or month or whatever, it's a fraction, so it's not going to really make too much of a difference. So that's the ex-dividend date. Now, the next date that you may or may not care about is the record date. Now, the record date is usually a couple days before the ex-dividend date, and this is basically when the company records the dividend payment in their financials. So, to me, I care about this date because, as far as I know, what this means is it'll show on my history upcoming dividend payments. So I track each and every dividend payment from my brokerage account to make sure I'm getting paid and to track my monthly income. So that record date should be the date that I should see this transaction in there. If not, what the hell is the point of the record date? But to my knowledge, that, obviously, company recording it and you as a shareholder care seeing it in your account, or at least seeing it as a future record on your account, more like an accrual of future earnings. And the fourth date, the most important date of all, is the payment date. So obviously, hence the name, the payment date is the date you get paid. So, which is typically either the 15th or the 30th, I've noticed, for most companies. So, and that's pretty much it with payment date. Obviously, for me, it's an important date because I track my monthly income. I'm trying to increase my monthly income and keep my monthly income at a pretty level playing field, which is hard because a lot of stocks are heavier on certain months than others. So payment date is something I do actually look at, which is not necessarily the right way to do things, but it's just, it keeps it fun and entertaining as well. You want to, my goal is to live off dividends, someday to live off dividends as a source of income. Right now, it's it's just a small portion of income, and I'm reinvesting these dividends to buy stocks that'll pay me more dividends. But if I keep reinvesting my stock dividend payments and I keep investing new money in stocks that pay dividends, then one day, hopefully, if I invest the right way in the right companies, then I can maybe retire on my dividends, or at the very least pay my mortgage with my dividends, things like that. So the younger you start, the better. Obviously, if you have more money to shed away, to put away, then that's better too. But I noticed if you invest as you go, it makes it a little easier to make less mistakes, because say you're starting with $20,000 in the beginning and you want to do this strategy, you're probably going to chunk it all away into a company that you think you like or you think is good, just because they pay a high yield. Versus if you're putting away $500 a month or so, or even less, then you'll chunk away here and there as you're learning. So obviously you want to learn first, but you can learn and invest at the same time. That's what I did about a little over a year ago. So again, I wanted to just make a video about the dividend basics, we'll call it, and the dividend dates. I know a lot of people that I talk to on Instagram are kind of interested in this. So hopefully you liked the video. And if you have any recommendations for different topics of the videos on the Monday commutes, please let me know. Or any recommendations for my home chalkboard videos, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. All right. Thank you for watching. Have fun at work.